Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. So, got hair going wild. I was asked to show you around the iTutorGroup portal. So I'm going to switch my screen so you can see things, and hopefully get an idea of what iTutorGroup portal looks like, and maybe even the training room if I can. So you start out here. The website. You'll get the website when you're in onboarding. You can't access it unless you are actually becoming a consultant, so it doesn't matter what the website is. But this is what it comes up to immediately. You can log into your account, which I have mine saved, so I logged in. This is the first thing that comes up. It gives you any announcements, any new information that they want us to know, which is interesting. They also send all this in emails, so it's not necessarily necessary to read it, but it does give you a quick access to it. Up at the top, this is the announcement page, which is what I said. We have the consultant page. We have my session page. My session page, when you click it, you're going to be asked to enter your session page. I have mine open. This is the session page, what it looks like. At the top, you have your time zones, and give me a second. I don't have it where you can see my mouse. Still can't. Let me see if I can make my mouse visible so you can see what I'm talking about. No? Okay. I don't remember how I did that. Anyway. Let's see. Video. No. Well, anyway. Let me move Manicam over a little bit, and maybe you can still kind of see Manicam on there, but it's fine. You're just not blocking anything right now. What I was trying to say. Up here you have your time zone. You really can't see it because it's so small on here, and I do apologize for that. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can get an idea of your session page, what you would see. Okay, so this actually might be a little clearer. It's still kind of hard to see, but up here, these icons are letting you know what the different dots mean. Green dots mean that you have a booked class. That means you open the slot. Yellow dots means you are scheduled for a class. Here, I'll flip to a different page so you can see a scheduled class. See, yellow dots, scheduled class. Purple dots is for demos, so I don't do demo hours, but that's for demos. When it's time to start class, it turns pink to start your session. When you finish a session, it will be half pink, half gray. It says that you haven't finished your report. When you have completed your session and filled out your report, it's going to turn gray like these. And then if it is red is bad. Red means you got switched. These are completed classes, obviously. This is what happens when you are booked, but you do not get scheduled. 8:30 and 9 on Monday mornings don't always get scheduled for me Eastern time. Keep in mind that 8:30 a.m. Eastern time is 9:30 p.m. in Beijing and China, so and Taiwan and all those. So sometimes our schedule, it doesn't always get 100% scheduled. These other ones I just opened up a few minutes ago. They'll be booked later. I also just opened these, and they scheduled really quickly, as you can tell. But this is what it looks like when you get scheduled for a class. You will be told, of course, the time is in your time. You're told, here, I'll zoom in a little more for you. Hold on, let's cancel that. Okay, so these are our times. I have a class at 5:30. It tells me that it's an OUP one-on-one class for 25 minutes. These are just my OUP classes. And then this is a regular class. Regular 25 means that it is a regular student, not in the OUP program, who booked me, or the computer booked me with 25 minutes. Some of these are new to me students. This student in particular, the regular class, is a student who is a regular of mine. Anytime she can get into my classes, she does. She is really sweet, and we get along and we get to talk a lot, which is nice. I need to brighten myself up a little bit. Let's see if that helps. I look very dark on this screen for some reason. That's funny. But anyway, when you get your classes booked, okay, so like I said, this is classes not booked. So if you look over here on this black bar, you don't see anything, right? Black bar is empty. If you have a class booked, it's going to give you some information. So I'm going to zoom in over here for a moment to give you an idea of the portal, and then I'll go back to the other portal parts. But you are told your class. This lets me know what class I'm teaching. It is an OUP class, so it's out of the Let's Go book, Unit 5, Lesson 3. That means it's a review lesson. If you do OUP classes, Lessons 2 and 5 are always Let's Read. Lessons 3 and 6 are either review, or sometimes Lesson 6 is a level assessment. I did one of those yesterday. And I can show you that in a second, what the difference looks like. When you look down here, you're going to see your student's name. In parentheses is their age, which is why I'm kind of darkening that up so you can't see it. It tells you the student's level, and it gives you a focus. You can also, on the focus, here, let's pull this down a little more. You can open this up a little farther, and so you can see how many classes they've had, how many classes they've had with you, and you can also see their recent feedback, which pulls up a separate screen. So this lets you know what other people say. Feedback from consultant, that is their ratings. They can get a rating, and it lets you know kind of where they are. Obviously, they're not 100% in participation, pronunciation, comprehension, creativity, or fluency. Those are the 5 categories. It also lets you know here, this compliments part, the part you see in blue on my screen, really tiny in blue, it lets you know the things that they like. They like when you respond and are diligent. It will also let you know if they have a lot of negative feedback to teachers, meaning that maybe they had some IT issues and they blame the teacher, which does happen. It happens with any company. Everybody thinks it's not their fault. And then it gives you the prior teacher's feedback on the student. So it lets you kind of know different things. Regular class is set up just the same. Again, it lets you know the student's name, age, but instead of OUP up here, it's going to give you a topic. Here it's telling me we're going to do birthdays and presents. And again, it lets me know I've taught this student. Here, I'll zoom in a little more so you can see. I've taught this student 7 times. She's had 167 classes. She is a level 10 student. She's very sweet. So that gives you an idea of the portal. When you finish teaching a class, this button right here is your progress report. I can't go any smaller. Progress report. 10 minutes prior to class. Okay. Strike that, reverse it. When you're first booked with a class, this is what it looks like. All right. It's going to let you know the information, and you don't see any box here. When it's 10 minutes prior to class starting, you're going to get a box where it says progress report. Here on my screen is going to have a box that says start session. The classroom opens up then at 10 minutes prior to class starting. You need to be in the classroom at least 3 minutes ahead of time, or else you can get switched. If you get switched, you will lose your attendance bonus, you will lose your class, and it is possible and most likely they will take all your classes for 24 hours because they think you're not capable of coming to class. Just giving you a heads up. It's all in the policies, it's all in the service agreement when you sign up. This is for regular OUP adult classes. 10 minutes prior, it opens up. At least 3 minutes ahead of time, you need to be in the classroom ready to go. You don't start class till it says start class, but you need to be in there. This gives you a chance if there's tech issues. I always try to do it at least 5 minutes because if there are any tech issues, if you are somehow in the old classroom, which none of us want to be in, you will have to approve Flash because Flash, they still are trying to use Flash. When you get done teaching, the button changes to progress report. And then you can type in your progress report. It comes up a full page. And again, if you're teaching this, you can see. These are the session report talking about the session. And down here, it talks about the student. Okay, so gives you an idea of what to do. If you get a, I was just talking about a second ago. If you get a level assessment, you have to fill out the level assessment and the progress report. Fill out both of them if you want to get paid. Here's the trick. When the button turns gray, see how my buttons are nice and gray and pretty? They are done. You are completely done with that class. Green means they can be scheduled. Yellow means they are scheduled. Gray means you have completed the class and they are done. All right? So gray is good. Gray is what you want to look for at the end of class. So this gives you an idea of your session page. As for the portal, I'm going to go back over here to the portal. Again, I know this is very big and I do apologize. You can go to your booking page. This is set in your time. So here's how you know. See this nice little clock over here? It says over here, I'm going to zoom in on it, Eastern Standard Time -5. So it tells me what time it is in my country. It's 9:03 a.m. right now on 1/6 when I'm recording this. And it also tells me what time it is in Taipei, which is, of course, the same as Beijing, same as China. This 22:03 right now. Also, daylight savings, I've talked about this before, is off because we're not in daylight savings time. When the time change goes back and we spring forward, I turn my daylight savings time button on and ta-da, my whole portal goes back to how it's supposed to be for them. Down here, I've kind of gone through some of this before, but down here it shows you what you are capable of being booked for. I have junior sessions and OUP junior sessions. Adults are automatic, so you will not have a check mark on your screen for adults. It also lets you know if you have standby, demos, or super juniors. You most likely will not, well, you definitely won't start out with any of those. Down here is your time. You can book your times. If they are gray, you cannot uncheck the time. If they are green, you can uncheck them. So when you're deciding what you want to do, and maybe, you decided you're going to teach, and then you said, oh no, I can't do that day. If you can uncheck it, you won't lose your attendance bonus. That's what we talk about unchecking. If you can click on this button, and it's going to tell you, it's going to say, do you want to cancel the bookings? But you're not canceling them. You're just unchecking them, and you confirm it. Then they'll uncheck the bookings. MPT are automatically gray. If you are adding bookings, click the bookings you want, and then you click this submit schedule box. Right now I have 0 hours selected, so I can't submit anything. Contribution points are not important. All right, so that gives you an idea of the sessions. Next up on here, I'm just going to pull this up a little way so you can kind of see it closer. So my session page, my schedule. Here's your cancellations. If you ever need to cancel, go in here and you put in the times. Make sure if you're on the computer, you're putting in the times in Taipei time. It is not in your time zone then. Always do it in Taipei then, putting session cancelations. That means if you know you're going on vacation for a week, you put in for a week off. It's not that hard, really easy to do. Your feedback report is next. When you click on it, it brings up your feedback. That means what your students have rated you. You can look at your ratings, you can look at your average, you can see what they say about you. If you click search, it'll let you see what they say. Submit material is only if you are on the writing team. Here, I'm going to zoom in a little more so you can see better. There. Submit materials if you're on the writing team. Comm Center is if you need to communicate with iTutorGroup. We have an app that you download that has PMIT on it, and you can talk to them directly. If you just need to send in a ticket, maybe you need to send a ticket to the educational department to let them know about something, then you send through Comm Center. Here's payroll. You can pull up your payroll account. Here's the trick on payroll. People don't realize this, and no one gets told this when they start. Here's how payroll looks. When it pulls up, it looks like, I don't know if you can really see it, it's really small. It's very bright. 2021, and it gives you a search button. Right now, nothing has been searched. People freak out and they're like, but my payroll, it says 0. Oh no, it says 0. You have to press the search button. Once you search, it's going to pull up your amount. That's how much I've made so far in January. And that's not up to date because, yeah, see, I have reports not filed. I filed the reports. It just means that the computer hasn't updated yet. So if you see this red report not filed and you know your session page is gray, then it just means they haven't updated it yet. But it lets you know your ratings, it lets you know your pay, it lets you know here's where you'll see your bonuses if you're getting a bonus, and you can see it. I have the full attendance bonus, so I get my bonus. I've taught 17, well, it says I've taught 17 classes a month. I've taught more than that. All right, so under that is the attendance system. Attendance system is if you get an absence, if you get switched from a class, or if you fail to show up to a class and you have an absence, that's where you can apply for your free passes. I'm not going through everything on this page right now, just giving you an idea. Here is training. So here's what I was going to go to. Training has your, okay, if you are onboarding, it has your onboarding instructions. Everything you need to know onboarding is going to tell you that here. Very simple, very straightforward. It will give you the things to click and tell you what to do. When you are ready, train. Go to trainings. Training portal is your training sessions, your classes. This is your this is where you can do it on your own time. Watch the videos, listen to them. It does have quizzes, but watch the videos to make sure you understand everything you're going to do. There is a learning curve when you teach online, and there definitely is a learning curve when you go from VIPKid or GoGoKid or any of the other companies to iTutor. There are some differences. There are some different ways we do things, and so you need to be aware of them. The training will help you. So do the trainings, do all the ones they require of you, and do more if you can. After the first 50 sessions, they're going to look at you and decide whether or not they want to keep you. They can suspend you until you do more training if they feel like you're not ready, if you're not keeping your average up enough. So just be aware that you need to keep your average up. I think I adjusted this too much. That's probably a problem. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. All right, so that's your training portal. That lets you know what you need to work on, what you can study. It gives you tons of options, and they're all where you can do them in your own time. The practice room is where we'll go in a second, where you can practice using the classroom and the features, and I'll show you those in just, I'll show you those in the next video. This is already 15 minutes long. So I'll show you I'll make another video after this of just the practice room. Consultant live sessions are where you can go and actually watch a consultant and learn the different things. When I started, they were required. I'm not sure if they still are. They probably are, at least a couple of them required. But it is good to go to the live sessions because you can ask the questions in the chat box and they will respond to you and they will answer your questions. So it is good to go to the live sessions if you're able to. So if you have that question that maybe you can't get in touch with your recruiter for, they can answer it. I do try to be available to my recruits and answer questions, but keep in mind I'm not on my email constantly. There's also the blog where you can learn more about iTutor and chat with people on there as well. You can put comments. And this is your software to download your Tutor Chat, which is our PMIT access. That gives you straight access to iTutor, other companies call them firemen, to your IT help. PMIT is your IT help in and outside of the classroom. That gives you direct access to them, to the schedulers, to people in the company. It's like a chat room kind of thing, but where you automatically connect them. Then you have management is just your profile, your calendar, your service agreement, and if you're going to recommend anybody, it gives you your link. And then, of course, last thing they have is an FAQ. You can learn about all kind of things. This is where you'll see all your stuff. Your service agreement is your contract. That's where you can see it. Contracts automatically update. They automatically renew unless you have an issue, but it gives you where you can go see that at. And then it has like let us know your ideas. Download the app. You can scan it and download the app onto your phone. The only thing I would say about the app on your phone is you've seen my video before of how I lost $100. Just be cautious on adding and deleting and canceling within the app. It is for emergencies only. They will tell you it is not for scheduling classes regularly. Emergencies only. So be very, very cautious. All right. I'm going to let you go and then I'll make another video on just the practice room, but this gives you an idea of the portal in general. If you have questions, please let me know in the comments. If there's something in the portal you want me to go into more depth on, let me know and I'll make videos on them as well. It's good to kind of know what the portal look like before you teach. So I want to help you if you are interested in iTutor or if you're thinking about the company. While I can't show you everything, like I can't show you the sessions, I can't show you a lot of the materials and all, it does give you an idea of where to find everything. All right, let me know what you think if you have questions, and I will see you next time. Bye.